All right, so we're dividing these polynomials here. Which piece is going to go on the outside? Yeah, the x minus 3. Now, the x minus 3 is in descending order of its exponents, okay? Because it has x to the first, and then it has a 3 without an x, so it's like x to the 0. So we're going to divide that into that other polynomial that's not written in descending order of its exponents. So I need to write it that way. So what is my largest exponent in this polynomial over here? The 2x cubed. The x cubed is my largest exponent, so the 2x cubed is going to go first. What's my next largest? The square, so we have a minus 3x squared. And then what's next? Minus 11x. And what's last? A positive 7. So you have to put the plus there with it. Alright, so we're set up, ready to do our long division. So what was step 1? What did we do first? We divided. So we're going to take our first term. So we're going to take 2x cubed and divide it by x. Well, I'm going to create a little work bubble over here so I can write some of this stuff out of the way. So we said 2x cubed, and we're going to divide that by x. What is that? 2x squared. So that's what we're going to put on the top. So we divided the first. Then what did we do? We're going to multiply that times everything on the outside. So that's why I put multiply by the outside. So I'm going to write this right here, and I'm doing this specifically because my answer is going to go right here underneath it, okay? So it was 2x squared times, on the outside we had x minus 3. So we're going to distribute this 2x squared. What's 2x squared times x? And what's 2x squared times negative 3? No?
Negative 6x.
Thank you. I think some of y'all were saying it, but I just couldn't hear you. Alright, so we multiplied. What was our next step after we multiplied it all? We're going to subtract, which means change the signs. So I'm going to go through here. This was a positive 2x cubed, so it's going to be negative. It was a negative 6x squared, so I'm going to make it positive. And so then we actually subtract. What is 2x cubed minus 2x cubed? 0. Guys, when you're doing long division with polynomials, that first term should always 0 out. If not, we've made a mistake, okay? It needs a 0 out. And then we have negative 3x squared plus 6x squared. What is that?
3.
So 3x squared. Alright, so we divided our first terms, then we multiplied that times everything on the outside, then we subtracted and changed, which meant change our signs. What comes next? Bring down the rest. So minus 11x plus 7. What's our next step? Yeah, repeat. So we're going to keep doing it until our number on bottom is smaller than the number outside. And guys, that number we're talking about is the exponent on the x. Okay? Right now, I have an x squared on the bottom, but I only have x to the first on the outside. So the bottom's still bigger, so we're going to keep going. So we're going to repeat. So we're going to divide our first term. So 3x squared divided by x. So I'm going to come over here to my work area so I can look at that. I get a positive 3x, right? So we're going to have to put a plus sign to show that it's a positive 3x. And after you divide, you multiply that to the outside. So we have 3x times, on the outside we have x minus 3. So I'm going to distribute. So 3x times x. And then 3x times negative 3. Negative 9x. And then what do we do? Subtract it, which means change the sign. So this positive 3x squared is going to become negative, and the negative 9x is going to become positive. So let's combine those. What's 3x squared minus 3x squared? 0, like we said it should. What's negative 11x plus 9x? And then bring down the rest. The number on bottom is not smaller than the x on bottom is not smaller than the x on the outside, so we're going to keep going. They're the same type of x, that means this is our last time. So let's repeat. So negative 2x divided by x. So negative 2x divided by x, our x's cancel and we get, so I'm going to put negative 2 up here. Then multiply that to the outside. So negative 2 times the x minus 3. Alright. And then subtract, so change the sign. So it's going to become a positive 2x. And look guys, that's a plus 6. It's hard to make that a minus. So I'm just going to scratch it out and put a minus. That way we don't miss it. Like we won't not see it. Alright, so then we combine them. What's negative 2x plus 2x? And then I have 7 minus 6. And that's my remainder, correct? So remember we said then we're going to put, well, for polynomials, everything is separated by a plus or minus sign. So we're going to put a plus, and you're going to put your remainder over, what did we divide by? X minus 3. So this up here is my solution.